Hello!
Hi!
We're back.
Yeah, again,
Yes.
like we promised this time. I promise.
A promise. Promises.
Yes, all the promises.
My promises.
This is not a vegetable. Alright?
My cabbages.
Yes, exactly. Cabbages.
Yes. Okay, so we're now at episode 5.
Yes, because the last thumbnail I made was A4.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not that we need to keep track of that. That's not important. I don't really have much to say. Do you?
Do you remember what happened last time?
Last time, we just talked about this before starting streaming. We had Tama, where we got to a bad end because Minurikawa just jumped in, like slammed in the door and started wrecking everything for some reason. Not sure why.
Oh, right. I forgot that part.
Oh yeah, we have to do the jump over from Tama.
Yeah, we can do that at one point.
So we can continue on Minurikawa's thing and
Yeah.
hopefully stop him from going
You're
ham.
really murdering everyone with some kind of blunt weapon, I assume, yeah? I'm not entirely sure what happened there.
He's not murdering everyone, he's wrecking everything.
He's very, very angry that he got cheated or something.
I suppose.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
How dare you deceive me? Something to that effect.
And then we had Achi, who had his epiphany.
Yeah, Epiphany Hills. Where he met a person where he thought that because they had some trash in their hands, so this would be like, oh my god, you understand me, you're my bro, and the guy's like, what? Okay,
Sure.
and went on with his life. It's clearly not why he was there, but
Yeah.
whatever Anji believes, we'll let him believe that.
Mm.
And we also made sure that Achi didn't suddenly tell those Yakuza thug dudes
Yeah.
where the guy sent to us, so that we didn't get the bad ending with Tama, the first one,
Yeah.
where they just took off her boss and just be like, "You owe us money, bitch!" And
Yeah.
Tama was just left alone, like, I don't know what to do. I can't even get out of my costume.
Yeah.
Sad. Poor Tama.
Poor Tama.
Poor Tama.
Yes.
But that was the main gist of what we did.
Yeah. I'm aware of the sound in the last video not being very good. There was some issues with the microphone we had at the time, which is why we had to get a new microphone. So this probably sounds a bit better than the old one did.
Yeah, well, I really hope it does.
It should. It should. This should be a pretty good microphone,
Yeah.
as far as I understand.
I mean, I could clearly hear the difference between when we played Final Fantasy 14 together,
Yeah.
between when you use the old mic and this mic.
Yeah.
Not only is it louder, but it's also just more clear.
Yeah. It could be a lot louder than it is.
You don't need that. Certainly don't need that.
No.
Absolutely no reason.
Okay. So let's head into the game and
Yeah.
let's continue.
See where the game takes us.
Maybe I should focus
Focus on the
first.
game. That sounds like a good idea.
Yes.
So we actually ended the other video at Tama's place because we got a bed.
Yeah.
You might want to go to the time chart instead.
Yeah.
To
That's a
the
good
jump
jump.
right there, and then to the jump. Ah, yes.
Don't let it get you down, sir. I say, hoping to comfort him. But Mr. Yanagishida just let out a sob-choked sigh.
That's when you have
So
to
now
go
we're
into
going to
the-
the sigh, and then we should be able to go to Minori.
Yes. Switching over to Minori the journalist. Woo! And now we can see what happens after his friend tried to hang himself, clearly.
Yeah.
While his daughter was not home, very deliberately.
No, it's just... Toyama let out a long, heavy sigh of resignation. It's the scratch cards that were in the 4-star general gossip.
Oh god, no.
A type of lottery card featuring areas printed with a special silver ink. These silver ink areas can be scratched off with just a fingertip or coin to reveal potential winners, providing a quick speed lotto fix. In order to prevent the symbols or letters underneath the silver from showing through the back of the card, the back of the card is printed in black. Somehow you always seem to lose when you got your hopes up, but manage to win when you least expect it. That's where the problem is.
Oh no. I imagine what they just said about the background, like the back side of it's black so you can't see the symbols. Has been a misstep in the production of these. You can see which ones are the winners, perhaps? Yeah. I don't exactly remember all of it.
What is the problem? If you shine light on the card from behind, you can see where the winning symbols are.
I knew it.
Whoa! I messed things up dealing with the printing company. And all of this, he gustered vaguely. It's my fault, just vaguely. It's my fault, my responsibility. He proceeded to explain the situation in detail. Word was quick to leak on the internet that there was a way to find the winning symbols, and suddenly thousands of cardholders turned up en masse to collect. Heaven Publishing was hit with a massive financial liability, and the employees rushed to flee a sinking ship. Before Toyama realized it, he was the only one left at the company, and he was up against the deadline for next month's 4-star general gossip. If I have to drop next month's issue, I'll be stuck in debt even deeper. And if that happens,
oh god,
I'm finished.
In more ways than one.
Toyama gave a dismal groan. So don't drop the issue! Minori just snapped. He pounded his fist right into the side of a cardboard box, but Toyama just shook his head weakly. I've been up for 3 days straight trying to fill the pages. It's not enough. I can't do the impossible. He drops his gaze to the floor. Countless scratch cards lay scattered around. They'd probably been amidst the pile that had fallen off the desk earlier. Each card showed a neat row of 5 win symbols. You can't know if it's impossible. You can't know if it's impossible if you don't see it through. I'll never make it this time. Make it in time.
The proof.
The proof needs to be done by 8 o'clock this evening.
Jesus Christ.
The final stage before printing, when the copy or manuscript is checked for errors, not sending corrected proofs to the printer before the deadline can result in the book or magazine in question not making it into the shelves in time for release day.
Yeah, we don't have that problem anymore with our digital magazines and newspapers.
They're definitely not getting proofread.
They're at least getting proofread very, very quickly, and therefore they tend to miss a few words. I have at least seen some even in our national news websites that there are some words that have been misspelled.
It happens a lot.
It happens a lot. I mean, I can understand journalists, like, they have a deadline, so they're just, like, typing away.
Yeah.
And then maybe they look it through once or twice, but they have to give it to a proofreader after that, and they're also scrubbed for time, so to speak. It's just get news out as fast as possible kind of culture, so it tends to happen a lot more now, at least compared to what I'd expect to happen back in the day when it was more physical, and you had maybe, like, a month to write something. Or a week, as the weekly newspapers we have here.
Yeah. Now it's all news all the time.
Yeah, all the time. No stops.
He let out a sigh, then held his hand out to Hana. Hana, would you mind giving me that hose? Hana gave her father a quick look, then handed the rubber hose to Minorikawa. This won't be necessary.
Chuck it! Yeet!
He tossed the rubber hose into the trash, then jabbed his finger at Toyama.
Pointing at what?
Show me the layout and the draft proposal for next month's issue. Toyama blinked a few times in disbelief. Huh? You can't possibly be serious.
Oh, but he is. He's very serious.
I'm trying to help. Now show me the layout and the proposal before I change my mind. After a brief incredulous pause, Toyama hurried off to grab the paperwork. A layout, in publishing speak, is an outline of a magazine showing which articles will occupy which pages.
Yeah.
Mirikawa gave it a quick once-over, finding that 12 of the pages were still blank and untouched. He wanted to punch whatever writers had been assigned to those pages. See what I mean? Toyama said. Hopeless.
It's hopeless.
He sounded perversely proud of his failure. Getting enough material to fill 12 pages by 8 o'clock.
That's a
Yeah.
tall order, man.
It was definitely a tall order, alright. Says who? Minorikawa replied. Remember who you're talking to here.
I'm a freelancer. That's what I do.
You seriously think you can do it? You're joking, right? Minorikawa shot back. I seriously know I can do it. There's nothing in this world that I hate more than a bad joke. Why are you doing this for me? Toyama was getting misty-eyed. I'm not doing it for you, you spineless wimp.
Doing it for your daughter, you ass.
Yeah.
Don't leave her.
I'm doing this for poor little Hana. Mirikawa, I'm sorry. Toyama bowed his head deeply. So deeply Mirikawa thought he might put his head through the floor. Don't apologize to me. Apologize to your daughter. Or forgive me. Please forgive me, Hana. Toyama clutched her tightly in his arms. The girl hugged him back, on the verge of tears. Hey now, enough of the waterworks. I've got your backs. Don't you worry about a thing. Mirikawa picked up the draft proposal for the pages that needed filling. The word Shibuya Scramble special were plastered across the cover sheet in big bold type. Okay, so a 12-page special edition block on Shibuya. Fair enough. And first on the docket. Drink yourself thin with burning hammer.
Oh, hey.
This reeked of a scam. The only way drinking more of something would make you lose weight would be if it was mixed with laxative, probably.
That's unhealthy because you get dehydrated instead.
Yeah. Still, there wasn't enough time to tweak the layout plan now. According to the proposal write-up, a product demo was scheduled for 1 p.m. that day. The location printed on the map was blurry and hard to make out, but Mirikawa had a rough idea where it was. It looked like he didn't have much of a choice but to swing by in the hopes of getting more material. He scanned further along into the proposal. Society of Surveillance. Hidden cameras installed throughout Shibuya. The rise and fall of Shibuya's vigilante squad. Where are they now? Washed up screenwriter showcase. Sexy Squared. Twins share top prize at local university beauty contest. Shibuya now. Black market organ trafficking in Shibuya. Shadowy foreign crime syndicate exposed. Those 7 pieces were to fill the 12 empty pages. That was the plan, at any rate. but there wasn't enough material there to make any headway. The Shibuya Now article didn't even have any proposed content. This sucked hardcore. It didn't look like there was much material for the rise and fall of Shibuya's vigilante squad either. The notes suggested that a few years prior, a group of youngsters in Shibuya had banded together to help fight crime in their neighborhoods. At this point, however, things had flipped around completely and they've become a gang of street punks themselves. A turn to the dark side. It had the makings of an interesting article, to be sure, but tracking down this gang would take time. Hirakawa was personally intrigued by the one about organ harvesting in Shibuya. The rumor was that organs were being smuggled out of Southeast Asia and fenced locally at a tremendous price. There was even a plan to ascertain the authenticity of these claims. Fascinating.
Yes.
If Mirakawa was going to be spending all day gathering other materials through, though he didn't have much time to spare for it. Shibuya, now! The rise and fall of Shibuya's vigilante squad. Black market organ trafficking in Shibuya? Mirakawa decided that one of those three would have to go. He thought about it long and hard as he stared at the draft proposal. There was a good chance that he'd really screw himself over if he picked the wrong one. Finally, he decided to cut.
What do you choose?
What was Shibuya now?
Don't know. There was no content that was proposed.
He decided to cut Shibuya now. He didn't have the time to make up an article out of whole cloth. His goal was just to make sure that 4-star General made it to the press at all. Society of Surveillance. Where are they now? Sexy Squared. Those three pieces had individuals slated for interviews, but no appointments had been made with any of them. Unscheduled interviews.
What for the mic?
Was dying to prospect.
Behind the screen she went.
Mirakawa decided to call them up on his cell as he made his way down the list. The only one he managed to get a hold of was Shinnosuke
Warai.
From the Where Are They Now piece. Former broadcast writer has appeared on various popular variety shows on commercial network Sun TV. He currently heads up a small theater group known as the Wandering Angels, operating out of Shibuya. Later today, the troupe is putting on a performance at Theater Ace in Sakura Gaukacho.
Yeah. Sakura Gaukacho.
Gaukacho.
Go is like kind of on its own because it's more like district.
Okay.
So it's the name of the district is Sakura Gaukacho.
Yeah.
Might help you pronounce it. She is laying down behind this monitor right now.
Yeah.
Just, being close, I guess.
Yeah.
In her own weird way.
He said he'd be willing to give a 15-minute interview after 2:30. Mirakawa sighed. He'd just have to get material from the others in a more impromptu fashion then. Putting his nose to the grindstone, he started throwing together a schedule for the day. Was it possible to get that material and write it all up and still finish the whole thing by 8 o'clock? It was no use. No matter how he tweeted, none of his simulations ended with him having proofread on time. He just needed one more thing, and that was another writer. Mirakawa zoomed through his contact list, calling up all the freelancers he knew. The results were depressing. Answering machines. Overseas on business. In the hospital. Currently doing time.
Damn! What are the odds?
Before long, he'd called everyone he could think of except for one, novice freelancer Chiyoko. Chiyoko was a bit of an odd duck, a reporter who was scared of talking to people.
Okay.
Minarikawa had never known anyone who became so hopelessly flustered in a one-on-one setting. He was such a rattled state as to be unable to speak. Chiyoko's tendency to become flustered is famous among her freelance writer colleagues. Once she conducted an hour-long interview during which she only managed to ask the interview subject's name, yet another chapter in the legend of hopelessly flustered Chiyoko.
Poor Chiyoko.
If she couldn't talk to people, she certainly couldn't do interviews. As if she couldn't get any real interview content. And if she couldn't get any real interview content, she wouldn't be able to write much in the way of copy. Would she come to his aid if asked? Quite probably. The issue was whether she would hinder more than help. This was no time for beggars to be useless. He decided to call up Chiyoko. What he needed now were dependable folks he could count on. He decided to email all his contacts from back in his staff reporter days.
Who do you choose?
Let's go with Chiyoko.
Sure, let's call Chiyoko.
The phone rang several times before a sleepy voice finally answered. Hello? Chiyoko, hi. It's Minarikawa. Today? Are you free today? Huh? What? He seemed thrown by the abrupt question. Did you just wake up? No, I mean... Well, yeah. Good morning. Her voice still sounded half asleep. So then I'm guessing you don't have any work slated for today, as usual. Pretty much. No work, no money, no food.
Oh, poor Chiyoko.
Nothing to do except sleep. If I'm not awake, I can't dwell on how hungry I am. She didn't sound well, almost like she literally didn't have anything to eat. Well, I've got work for you. I'm over at 4-Star General Gossip. Get over here ASAP. What? You really mean it? That seemed to finally wake her up. Yeah, but hurry. Minarikawa decided he had assigned Chiyoko to the rise and fall of Shibuya's vigilante squad. First, I want you to take a look around Shibuya for this group of vigilante types. By vigilantes, you mean people who have volunteered to help prevent crime? There was a note of relief in Chiyoko's voice. Yeah, that's right. Except apparently now they've turned into a nasty street gang. Did you say street gang?
Let me guess.
Nuh-uh. No way.
Let me guess. It's Archie's old.
Yeah.
Probably.
Absolutely not. Minarikawa could almost see her shaking her head on the other end of the line. What if I get killed or sold into slavery overseas or something?
Jesus, Chiyoko.
He doubted there was much chance of the latter, or the former for that matter, but still he understood her concern. Alright, I hear you, he said. Then how about you go hang around Shibuya Station and do some street interviews for me? Street interviews?
Oh god.
There was a nervous waver in Chiyoko's voice now. Yeah, just talk to normal, regular people walking around outside the train station. That should be fine, yeah? But Mr. Reno, street interviews aren't really my, Apparently it was beyond her capacity to give him a simple no. No buts. Just interview at least 10 people and get me an article by 6 o'clock. Okay. Mirikawa had originally planned to axe the Shibuya Now piece because it didn't have any content, but getting some quotes from people on the street would at least make for a useful filler. That gave him a sudden idea. He'd take on the vigilante story himself and have Chiyoko handle Shibuya Now. That was plenty of work to keep two people occupied through the day. The more time-consuming organ market story would have to be cut. After explaining what kind of interviews he was after, Mirikawa hung up. Okay, I've got us another writer.
Beautiful picture.
We'll get through Toyama somehow. Toyama shrugged gloomily. Yeah, well the thing is, there's actually one more problem. Are you kidding me? Mirikawa couldn't hide the irritation in his voice. What is it now? The loan company is sending a debt collector over at 4 o'clock, but as you can imagine, I don't have a single yen to give them. That's less than ideal, yeah? So, what's the plan? Well, they've said provincially that if next month's issue gets published, they'll be willing to wait on repayment. Then there's no problem. The issue is coming out guaranteed. But they're not going to take my word on it on that anymore. I'm going to need to prove it. If we could fill, say, half of the 12 pages by the time they showed up, I could probably convince them. Alright, Mirikawa said wearily. So, for starters, we need 6 pages by 4 o'clock. They had to get all 12 pages done as it was. That made a perfect midpoint to shoot for. Any other problems you'd like to let me know about? No, Toyama said. No, that's all. I really am sorry about this, Mirikawa.
You can see how they're zooming in on the time.
Yeah.
It's like until 4 o'clock. That's not a lot of time to write 6 pages.
No.
6 readable pages of articles. From one person, I might add.
Again, he bowed his head low. Mirikawa felt distinctly awkward. He had known Toyama for years and had never been
Kowtowed, I think.
Kowtowed?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what I've heard, at least Americans pronounce it.
Kowtowed to like this before. Yeah, well, just let me handle it, alright? Mirikawa unfolded a map of Shibuya. The first order of business was deciding where to begin getting content. He marked the editing office with a circle, then considered where to head next. Diet drink sales demo. Center guy. Where are they now?
Gaoka
Theater Ace. Society of Surveillance. Dogen Saka. Indoor Electronics.
Hey!
Sexy Squared.
Noriyama Academy.
University associated with Miriyama High School. Notable alumni included famous actress Masami Nagahama and National High School Baseball Championship winning pitcher. What?
Tissue Prince!
The Tissue Prince.
Ah, that's such a great reference. Oh my god.
Okay, so something here I'm not getting.
Yeah, it's like, as far as I can understand, it's like a parody of the Prince of Tennis thing. Instead of a baseball, it's just tennis. It's just funny.
Yeah.
Prince of Tennis is a really, like, it has a lot of content in different ways. Like, I think it's originally like a manga, but then it has an anime, it has a live action. I think it even has like a Korean drama adaptation.
Yeah.
And it's not realistic.
No.
At least not the stuff I've seen. I haven't personally watched it, but I've seen a few clips. My little sister watched the Korean version.
Oh.
It's definitely not realistic. It's on the levels of Kuroko no Basket. It's not realistic, if you've ever seen clips of that.
I think so.
Yeah.
I at least heard you talk about it a lot.
Yeah. But yeah.
That's the basket anime.
Yeah, it's a basket anime with the small dog on top of Kuroko's head.
Yeah.
A lot of the times. Kuroko's, also short, just like in Haikyuu. But Haikyuu is actually kind of realistic.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
I mean, it's over the top.
It's a shonen.
Yeah.
But Kuroko no Basket is like, suddenly they have like this power emanating from them. It's like, what? This is not sports.
Yeah.
This is a superpower disguised sports. But yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah. Its educational philosophy is summed up in its slogan: words, skill, and beauty. A very high percentage of winners of the Miss Mirayama contest go on to careers in the entertainment industry.
Makes sense why you want to interview the twins then.
Shibuya Vigilantes. Location to be determined.
Yeah.
The diet drink sales demo was at 1 o'clock, and the interview with Shinosuke Warai for Where Are They Now was slated for 2:30, so those times were set. The question was what to do in the interim.
Interim, I think. It's not a word I pronounce often, so...
That seems like a bad idea.
Check out the Endo Electronics in Dongan Saga.
Yeah. It was a bit of a hype, but maybe you should go to Dogensaka and check out Endo Electronics. Yeah, that should give him what he needed to put together the Society of Surveillance piece. Okay, I'm heading out. And don't even think about doing anything else stupid while I'm gone. Got it?
Definitely no more suicide attempts, please, Toyama. For your daughter's sake. God damn it.
Mirikawa hustled out of the editing office, hoping Toyama would take his admission to heart. Exiting the building, he hopped into the taxi that was waiting outside. Thanks for waiting. Can you get me to Dogensaka ASAP? Son of a bitch! Mirikawa bristled. I beg your pardon? That son of a bitch you wanted to give a piece of your mind, so?
Oh, you're right. He said that, didn't he?
Was he waiting for you like you expected?
Not quite.
Oh, yeah. And I damn well did give him a piece of my mind, too. Glad to hear it, sir.
This taxi driver is cool.
The taxi is sped off.
Alright, where to next? Woo!
Guess it's a good thing we kept him.
Yeah, otherwise you would have to walk. And
Yeah.
I assume that would have taken too much time. So you would maybe get a bad end. You can always check, there's like a list of bad ends, you can always check when for hints how to get them.
Mirikawa pulled out the proposal and looked it over again. The idea for the surveillance story revolved around the claim that hidden cameras had been installed throughout Shibuya's shopping district, upwards of 500 of them. Supposedly, these had eliminated lots of blind spots, and the crime rate in the area had dropped significantly. The cameras were managed by Daisuke
Endo.
Yeah. The owner of Endo Electronics and chairman of the local downtown committee.
Also known as Achi Endo's father.
Yeah. It's his dad.
Yeah, good old daddy. I'm going to sit down now, totally relaxed.
That was Mirikawa's first mission then. He needed to get this guy's story.
Let's go! Save. Scanning the side of the road, Mirikawa finally spotted a rundown electronics shop.
The sign out front, which looked like it might fall off at any moment, read Endo Electronics. Right, here's fine. The taxi stopped and Murakawa pulled 10,000 yen bill from his wallet. Keep the change, he said. What? Look, don't sweat it.
I don't have time for this.
The name's Murakawa, and I'm a freelance writer. I care about two things, what's real and what's true. There's real worth in what you've done for me. That there's a token of my appreciation. It's not much, but please, take it. Murakawa slid out of the
Just gave
taxi.
him $100, dude.
Yeah, they headed from the electronics store.
I know most of it's probably paid for, taxi fee, but still.
Inside Endo Electronics looked more like a mountain of hoarded junk than an actual business.
That's a lot of boxes.
Towering piles of ancient appliances stretched toward the ceiling. Oak television sets with dial knobs leaned against the computers with 5-inch floppy drives. In case you don't know what a floppy drive is.
Technically, this is 5-inch floppy drives.
I feel old.
I'm younger than you, and I also feel old. I remember my father having floppy disks laying around.
I had a bunch of them when I was younger.
Yeah. I didn't have
Most
a
of them
computer
ended
back
up
then.
not working in the end because
Magnets.
magnets, not very powerful ones, so they obviously died out after a while.
Yeah.
A storage medium for personal computers in production from 1976 to 2001. The magnetic discs are sheathed in paper or plastic jackets and are known for their tendency to flop around in one's hand.
Hence the name, floppy disks.
Yeah.
And they call it floppy drives here, I don't know why.
Yeah.
The floppy disks, that's what you call them.
Technically speaking, they are 5.25 inches in diameter. Incidentally, Door released in 1983, the debut title from this game's producer, Koichi Nakamura, was produced in a 5-inch floppy version.
Damn, that's not a lot of data.
No. That's how it was.
Yeah.
Typically, some games would have multiple floppy disks.
Yeah, just like you use multiple disks.
Yeah.
Which we have gone back to. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yeah, but also just a remake. It's also 2 discs.
Yeah, but that's an install disc and a play disc.
Yes, but that's also what they said before, though.
Is it?
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's going to be the same for the Rebirth because they also announced it was going to be in 2 discs, the whole Midgar section. So I assume it's the same thing. They have a data disc and they have a play disc.
Okay.
The play disc obviously also has data on it, but
yeah,
I assume that's how it's going to work now. So you don't have to change disc.
Okay.
Because that's inconvenient as fuck.
Mm.
So they fixed that issue.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I'm just wondering how much it would fill if it wasn't on 2 discs.
Arguably maybe more.
Yeah, a lot.
Because not only one of them really only has the all the data that needs to be installed. You don't need to use it again once it's been installed. The rest has the actual game-changing things, like what you do in the game. Interactions.
You can get it digitally too, so it probably fills a fuck ton.
Yeah, I mean the data disk, at least for the remake, was 90 gigs.
Damn. What has happened to video games? Seriously, why does it have to fill so much? Seriously.
Because next-gen graphics. Bill.
It's always next gen. It's constantly next gen. That's why they're not able to optimize and compress and just make things so you can actually use it with a reasonable system.
It might also be something to do with the confines of the console itself.
Oh, I'm not thinking consoles only. I'm also thinking computers.
But it's just when we see for Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth, I'm not sure it has necessarily the same kind of 2-disc system on the PlayStation has on the computer.
Yeah.
I think remake is out on computer now, but I think it's only really digital you can buy it. So
yeah,
it doesn't really have that
there aren't
problem.
really
You
any
wouldn't know.
computers that use discs these days.
No, exactly. But you could potentially. But it's not gonna have the same like limitation on a computer as it does on a console, because you also kind of like sure you can use different engines to make games, but you're still kind of confined in what the console itself can do, which is why like in the remake, on the PS4, the background when you are walking like just underneath the plate, this is the 2D image, because the PlayStation couldn't handle it anymore. Kind of funny, and you remember that the weird glitch in the door for the integrate version?
Yeah.
That you also had to fix. It just didn't load in correctly.
Yeah.
There's something that could happen. So I also think it just has something to do with that as well.
I suppose.
But yeah, it's become a hype thing for it to be in 2 discs because we know how much data can be on it, right? So we know either the long is gonna be incredibly long or incredibly pretty.
You know what's funny is that they decided to have 2 discs instead of a 2-layer disc.
Yeah, because hype.
You can have high compact discs.
Yeah. No, fuck that. Apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know if the PS4 can use that though.
The PS5.
For the
also,
remake.
The PS4 can also, because it's just a normal Blu-ray, but it should work as far as I understand.
I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know if it actually works for 4 or 5 probably, but 4 I don't know.
Yes, I would believe so. Because it's also a thing that existed back with the PS3.
Yeah.
The PS3 is what popularized Blu-rays to begin with.
Yeah, that's true. And now everyone's using it.
Yeah.
Because mini discs, it's just a fad.
Yeah.
I still remember when I had mini discs. Just 2 songs on it or something like that.
Yeah.
Times. I feel old again.
I remember those small CDs you could get that sometimes were shaped like a thing.
Oh, yeah.
With small games on them.
Yeah.
I think I had one that was like Charmander or something like that.
Nice.
It's from like a cereal box.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also had one with Bionicle.
Yeah, I remember that. I had a friend who had a ton of Bionicle.
Yeah.
So we kind of played. I played with it that way.
Yeah.
But I also remember that some of the, at least at the time, newer models where the box was kind of round had a mini disc in them.
Yeah.
I think that was even before the first movie came out.
Yeah, it was.
A long time ago.
Jesus, I'm sweating.
It is very warm.
Okay, continue.
Let's continue. Enough talk about floppy disks.
What possible use could there be for all this outdated stuff?
Oh, you never know.
No. That's what a horror would say.
Oh, you mean you?
Shut up.
You know, right though.
Shut up.
See, Apollo agrees.
Yeah. I don't care. I'm getting better.
True. And you're not as bad as parents, but
no.
You still have that mindset at times.
Yeah. Mr. Endo, are you in here? Mirikawa called out. Nobody came to greet him. The shop was definitely open, though. Surely the proprietor hadn't left it unattended. Hey, Mr. Endo, come on, I know you're in there. After a short wait, Mirikawa heard sounds from the living space behind the shop.
I don't know, something like that.
A door opened to reveal a tired-looking middle-aged man. Yeah, what do you want? Are you Mr. Endo? Mirikawa asked. I am, the man said guardedly. And I'm sorry, but I'm in the middle of something at the moment. Could you come back tomorrow?
No.
Or please, just give me a minute. I'm a freelance writer. Name's Mirikawa. Mirikawa showed Endo his business card. I'm writing an
Free dancer. I just read that. English.
I'm reading an article for 4-star general gossip. A magazine piece, huh? Precisely. So if I could just have a little of your time today. The phone rang, cutting him off before he could get down to business. I'm sorry, you'll have to excuse me for a moment. Endo reached into a clutter and pulled out a telephone.
Oh my god, he has a fax!
Yeah.
Why am I surprised? Japanese people always have faxes. They still have faxes.
Yeah. Hello, Endo Electronics. The proprietor listened for a moment, then raised an eyebrow. Yeah, that's a problem, alright. Alright, understood. I'm trying to get a hold of the customer then. Endo set the receiver back down. What was that all about? Mirikawa asked. Oh, yesterday I stole the dry ice machine. The manufacturer just called and let me know the model is defective. Defective? Apparently once it starts making dry ice, it won't stop.
That is the problem.
I need to tell the customer I have to recall the machine and refund their deposit. Please give me a moment. Endo shifted through some sales slips, read a number of one, and made a phone call.
There's some packaging for light bulbs though.
Yeah.
60 watts.
What? Nobody picked up on the other end, however. That's right, he grumbled to himself. He said they had some performance today. Performance?
Performance? I have to go to a performance.
I sold it to a guy from some theater troupe. They're called the Wandering Angels or something. A theater troupe run by Shinosuke Orai.
Yeah, just think of it as O and Arai. Orai.
Orai.
Yeah.
This afternoon at 5:30 p.m. they're performing their 22nd piece, Au revoir. Au revoir?
Oh, French!
Right now, all of the actors are already at the theater except for Akiomi Mondo, who plays the rival of the main character, Ryu. The angry production chief has sent his assistant to Mondo's apartment, but he does not yet know what awaits him there. Continue to the Tale of Wandering Angels, episode 2, 6 episodes in all. Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
The Wandering Angels. That was Shinosuke Orai's theater troupe. Mirikawa had an interview with him booked for 2:30. Anyhow, what can I do for you? Mirikawa hastily explained what he was after. Endo gave him a dubious look.
Like,
as I said earlier, I'm a bit busy right now. Busy cleaning up, I hope. How do you get anything done in this mess? Why, are you this rude to all your interview subjects? 5 minutes!
Here we go again.
Just give me 5 minutes of your time, please. You've got to be joking. Go on, get the hell out of here. Endo headed for his back room in a huff. Fine, then I'll just have to write about what you've already told me. Namely, that Endo Electronics sells defective merchandise. Huh? Just what are you implying? Did you or did you not sell that theater troupe a defective piece of equipment? Look, I'm going to get in touch with them as soon as... I'm betting they're in a hurry preparing for the performance. I doubt we'll be getting through to them today. Endo bit his lip. Now that I have your attention, Mirikawa said, let's make a deal. What kind of deal? I'm meeting with a member of the Wandering Angels a little later today. I can let them know about the dry ice machine for you. In exchange, all you have to do is give me my interview. Endo scowled. And where's your proof that you'll be meeting with Wandering Angels? I might take advantage of a guy when he's down, Mirikawa replied, but one thing I'm not is a lie.
is that right? Yeah, I've never seen him lie.
The shopkeeper took a few moments to think about it. Fine, he grumbled.
I'm just hearing something. I'm not entirely sure where it is.
I think it's a chair.
Chair? Oh, it's your chair! Oh my god.
Don't worry about it.
But I do, I can't shut out any background noise.
And I can't sit still.
What a combo we are.
I need a better chair.
Yes.
What's happening? 5 minutes, that's all you get. Mirakawa whipped his notepad out of his coat like he was throwing a gun. Then let's get right down to it, shall we? Go right ahead. So I hear that over 500 surveillance cameras have been installed throughout Shibuya shopping districts. Yes, that's right. Why so many? We used to have a lot of delinquents in town.
Delinquents?
Young people who act rowdy, or cause trouble, often at arcades or convenience store parking lots, and who frequently resort to petty theft and other mischief, also referred to in more outmoded terms as ruffians or hoodlums.
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 Funny word.
Endo said the word with a marked distaste. Oh yeah? I remember there being some problem kids around. They were real punks. They vandalized my signs, made a mess of my storehouse. They were just awful. I see. Mirakawa scribbled diligently in his notepad. Heck, my own son put together some sort of vigilante squad to help teach those punks a lesson. Wait. Vigilante squad?
Wait a demon second!
Whoa, hold up right there for a sec. Mirakawa jotted out his hand to interrupt. This guy's son was part of the vigilante squad? What a stroke of luck! Maybe you could also provide some info for the article on the gangs in Shibuya. Sorry, I don't mean to get too far off topic here, but could you tell me the name of this group your son belongs to? They call themselves SOS. Originally a group of well-meaning young people who would get together downtown as a sort of vigilante squad trying to keep Shibuya clean and safe. In those days, the group never engaged in theft or other criminal activities. More recently, however, SOS has become one of the biggest gangs in Shibuya, resorting to defacing public property with graffiti, shoplifting, and shaking people down for cash.
Damn.
Yeah. Prided themselves on being the top gang in Shibuya and all that. Top gang in Shibuya? Did I really just hit the jackpot right here? Not to pat myself on the back, but go me! Go me!
Yeah.
All I have to do is step outside and the story finds me. I think I might be a natural at this. As it happens, I'd also like to interview people from the SOS. Would you be able to put me in touch with your son? Yeah, sure, but you should know that my son isn't in the gang anymore. So now we can jump.
Yeah, but we don't need to do that.
No, we can do that later.
Yeah. Now you know it's there, you can just jump to this part.
Oh, Mirakawa hesitated. Guess he's of no use to me. Oh, believe me, I know how you feel. The look on Endo's face spoke volumes. There was no point in interviewing Endo's son if he wasn't with the gang anymore. It figured that Mirakawa's run of good luck would end eventually. Still, he'd gotten a lead in the form of a name, SOS. Progress! Alright, so back to the matter at hand. He flipped his notepad back open. what did you decide to do about all these juvenile delinquents? I set up a tiny web camera in order to protect my property. Cameras designed to send video information to a computer via the internet. Look carefully and you can often spot them outside private residences and even on public streets where they are installed for use in surveillance. Given the risks of transmitted data being intercepted, the images recorded by such a camera are generally encrypted to prevent playback by unauthorized third parties. Many landmarks and attractions make their camera footage publicly available online. Let's see. And I'm guessing the webcam did the trick. Sure did. And so, then other local businesses heard about it and started asking me to install some for them. Web cameras aren't particularly expensive, so it wasn't too tough to set them up all over downtown. So who's in charge of these security cameras? Members of the Downtown Business Committee take turns. The cameras are connected via wireless network that business owners can access through the area. A LAN, or local area network, a communication system that can only be used within a limited geographical area. A wireless LAN transmitted using electronic signals, although convenient because it does not require cable attachments. There are risk of signals conveyed in this way being intercepted by a third party. How's the security for this wireless network? Oh, no problems on that front. Endo seemed surprised at the question. All of the footage sent over the network is fully encrypted. Getting a lot of information here. Encryption is the process of encoding data so that it is indecipherable by a third party. Restoring encrypted data to its initial form requires what's called a key, a program designed for this purpose. There are two main types of cryptographic systems. Secret keys, crypto systems, use the same key for both encryption and decryption. Public key crypto systems use a public key to encrypt the data but require a private key known by the recipient in order to decrypt.
Yes.
I have learned about this stuff, but I don't remember much of it. So it was back in 2011?
Yeah.
2012?
I've had a bit of like informatics, but this was not really part of it.
No.
So.
People can't feel good about being recorded on camera without their...
Yawn!
Boy. Without the knowledge. Don't you think? Mirikawa asked. The shopkeeper's expression darkened. We hope to strike a balance between crime prevention and protecting individual privacy. And who determines what that balance is? Mirikawa let a note of challenge slip into his voice. That would be me. I've been entrusted with the management of the security cameras. I see. So essentially, you're providing your own moral oversight. Are you implying that I'm abusing my authority? Endo shot back. I'm doing this in the name of the public order. Right, you've had your 5 minutes. Now get out of here. The shopkeeper stood up and headed into the bank. I'll be sure to let the Wandering Angel know about the dryad machine, Mirikawa hollered at the closing door. Episode 2.
Continue!
When Akiomi Moto didn't show up at the theater at the meetup time, production assistant Yukio Tosuka Tosca?
Yukio Tosuka, yeah.
Tosca. Went to call on him at his apartment. Upon arriving, Tosuka found that the place had been staked out by debt collectors. Mondo had borrowed 300,000 yen, and they wouldn't leave his home until he paid up. It looked like the only way to save Mondo was to give the debt collectors the operating funds for the theater. But before Tuska could head back to relay the news, the props master Shinichi Bando showed up.
Continued in episode 3.
Ender didn't reply.
Bye.
Yurikawa had gotten enough of the story to put an article together, so we decided to hurry to a coffee shop and get started on some coffee. He was making his way down along Dogensaka when his cell phone rang. The incoming call display showed Chiyoki's name. Chiyoko, what's going on? Oh, it's no use. She sounded like she was on the verge of tears. What's no use? I can't do this. I just can't talk to people passing by in the street. What? Why not? It's just that everyone seems so busy when they're walking past. If I try to interrupt, they're gonna be all mad at me. Well, who the hell cares if they get mad? Murakawa was ready to start ripping his hair out. I don't want them to be mad at me, she whimpered again. Well, this wasn't this wasn't about what you wanted, was it? He was supposed to be working, not whining. Look, Chiyoko, you need to get me those interviews, period. Do I make myself clear? He hung up before she could squeeze in an objection. Damn it, Murakawa muttered. Just what I needed. One more thing to worry about. He pulled at his hair a few times, then cast his worried gaze in the direction of Shibuya Station.
To be continued.
Well, that's perfectly fine, because we need to take a break.
Yeah. To get some more stuff to drink and get to the toilet and stuff.
Refreshments.
Yes.
And cycling of fluids. You should do that too, viewer.
Yes.
Yes.
It's very important to be hydrated.
Also, get up, stretch, walk around a bit. It's
Yeah.
important to move yourself around.
Look to something into the distance as well.
Yeah.
You don't stare at a screen all day. It's not good for you.
No. So we'll be back in just a bit, like 10 minutes or so. We'll be back again. So stay right there. Bye.